guys, so today I'm back with a video about stammering. I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support from stammerers and my friends and family about my recent first video on stammering. It was amazing, getting all the replies and just feeling, I felt really euphoric after that video. There was actually some comments underneath that video about things that stammerers wanted me to talk about, and one of them was dating, and I thought that would be quite an interesting video to film, something that I would have liked to have seen when I started dating and talking to boys when I was about 15. So yeah, and it's something I don't think that's out there that much, is a girl's perspective on dating with a stammer. So without further ado, I'm going to film the video. I am filming on my lovely camera, but the battery is like goes down so quickly. I haven't even used it that much at all, like ever, but the battery seems to be quite bad, so I'm going to have to film this really quickly. So yeah. The first thing I thought of to talk about this topic is about how they sort of deal with your stammer in the early stages. And I don't necessarily want to use the word deal because that almost has a negative connotation. It's sort of about adapting and how you two work together and how you're going to communicate to fit in with your needs and things like that. So it's not a negative, and the positive that comes out of it is that you tend to filter out all the guys that are there for the wrong reasons. And I think I've noticed this. I think you're left with the lovely, kind, patient, considerate ones that are there for your personality and that are there to be around you and there for your time as well. And so stammerers have an advantage. They cut up the bad guys straight away. And I want to also talk about my experience on first dates as well. So I have only dated two guys, and they've like properly dated two guys, and both of them have been from school. So I haven't had a first date experience where I haven't known the guy at all. But my first serious boyfriend, I started talking to him in sixth form in class, and I remember him asking me questions about my favourite bands and music, and I was so nervous I couldn't like say anything. And then I remember him DMing me and asking, like, just talking to me. I think we spoke for like a month, and in that period of time he really got to know me through messaging me. And I think that's something that is so underrated, like getting to know somebody through messages, and it's just such a powerful tool for stammerers. And if that's any advice I could give, is that that's actually really worked for me on numerous occasions, is not putting so much pressure on socialising when you're there with a guy in person. Be relaxed and just let whatever comes out come out, but don't feel like, oh my god, I need to cram in my whole personality in this one conversation because I'm worried that I'm coming out plain, I'm not saying enough, things like that. That's all something, things that I felt before. I felt like inadequate because, you know, I'm getting asked these questions that are like open questions and I'm replying with closed answers, and I think that's generally a fear. That was mostly, I think, if I was going to say I was fearful about anything when I was dating, it was that, not giving enough and then becoming bored or disinterested. And I remember one of his comments was, when I first started talking to you on Messenger, I just couldn't believe how much personality and how much you have to say about everything, and about what you like, what you dislike, all that sort of stuff, you know. So it just goes to show that don't judge yourself too harshly, because you can communicate and portray yourself in many different ways that don't initially involve talking face to face. And in terms of past when you get to the point of meeting up, just don't stress it. I remember my first date with that guy, and we went to a cafe and he spoke at me for 2 hours because every time he asked me, like, how many pets do you have, where do you, like, sort of where do you live, all those really basic questions. I just, again, close answers, so he ended up talking about himself for 2 hours, But at the end of the day, he still had a great time. So although I was extremely nervous and it was quite a stressful situation, I still enjoyed myself. And yeah, so it's just focusing on what you can achieve from meeting up and not worrying too much, because that person needs to be there for the right reasons. So being yourself is not a negative. Like, there was a quote I saw and I can't remember it. It was on Instagram and it was about people that you love are there with you. It's just something on the lines of faults, and that the people around you, although you see your faults as a bad thing, they see them as a positive. And it was just something like, well, maybe stammering is something that they really love and you see, and you just see as a fault. So yeah, and I think that something that Will, my boyfriend now, has said, that he used to find it cute. He used to think that it was really cute when I was in school and I wasn't able to say my name and register straight away and things like that. He said it was actually an endearing quality. So yeah, that must be a positive. So yeah. So yeah, I had experiences of that a first date where it didn't go so well, but then later on, years later, when I was a bit more comfortable with myself and I started going out with Will, it was a little bit different. I knew him a lot more. So something I was going to say, it's definitely going to be different if you don't know that person. It's going to be a lot more harder, but for people that you do know, when you start going and dating them, it's probably a little bit easier. So yeah, that's sort of my experience in a bit of a rambling nutshell. But I want to talk about advice. So my advice, as I sort of have explained in the video already, don't underestimate the power of social media. Use it to your advantage. Like, you know, if you want to text them straight after your date and tell them how amazing it was and how great you felt, text them, because they're going to love hearing that. And never underestimate the power of communication through social media. I think that's the main thing I want to say. That's my main tip. Don't put so much emphasis on the face-to-face, because you're just going to end up stressing yourself out and getting more stressed and stammering more. So yeah, and prepare for dates as well. That's something that I really want to share, is that if you know that you're going to a restaurant or something like that, it's so important, I think, to just give them a little text before and be like, look, if you go to this restaurant, I might need your help with ordering, so if I could basically tell you what I want before the waiter comes along, and is it okay if you say it for me? And 9 times out of 10, if they are a nice guy, they're just going to want to help you, and they're going to be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh, I know when you're getting to know each other it's a lot more awkward versus when you've been going out for a while, but that's the whole adapting. It's just them helping you and you helping them through, like, dealing with your stammer together, because I think, yes, it does affect the people that you're with, but not half as much as you think. So yeah, prepare for dates, let them know how you feel, major thing. And the final one, be yourself, because again, they're not worth your time. If you're being yourself and if you're really trying hard and they can't see that, then they're not worth it. So leave them at the door. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a little bit different. I think I'm rambling. I wrote so many notes that it's like an essay. It reminds me of being back at school. I haven't put pen to paper properly in a very long time. So I know it's a bit rambly, but if you want videos like this, or maybe more about my experiences in depth or anything like that, then thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give the video a thumbs up, and I will link my Instagram down below and I'll put it on the screen, so if you'd like to follow. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope it's not too rambly. This is a bit of a different one for me, so yeah. See you in my next one. Thanks for watching.